I want to talk to you about wealth, but not the kind you see on those flashing screens. That's not wealth. That's casino chips, a heart-pounding poison, expensive entertainment designed for fools. The biggest problem with your generation is that you treat life like a 100-meter sprint. You're always looking for a button to press and make money fall out. I'm telling you, that button leads to a cliff, not a vault. Wealth is a friend of time, but an enemy of impatience. This is a simple truth I've learned over nearly a century through my eyes, my brain, and my hard-earned money. But you don't believe me. You think I'm an old fogey, out of touch with the times. What is your era? It's about learning all skills overnight, achieving financial freedom in 3 months, and finishing a classic in 10 minutes. This isn't acceleration. It's extreme disrespect for knowledge, value, and life itself. You're not living. You're fast-forwarding a terrible movie and thinking you're the director. I've seen too many smart people, smarter than me, quicker to react, who ultimately become fertilizer for the market. Why? Because they can't stand boredom. They think trading is work and waiting is a waste of time. This is a huge misconception. In the game of investing, the vast majority of your money is earned when you're doing nothing, sitting patiently, not when you're frequently buying and selling. You think you're trading, but you're just rubbing salt into your wounds, slowly wearing down your capital and rationality until you're completely wiped out. People are always looking for secrets, for that magic formula that can turn lead into gold. They pay for classes, listening to so-called masters spout nonsense, teaching them how to predict the next market move. Listen, if someone could accurately predict the market, they'd be busy making money, not collecting your tuition. Why can't some people grasp this basic common sense? What's the difference between attempting to predict short-term market movements and trying to predict which leaf will fall in the next second? It's all God's game. What makes you, a mere mortal, think you can win? Let me give you an example. Accumulating wealth is like rolling a small snowball down a very long slope. What do you need? First, wet snow, high-quality assets that can continuously generate value. Second, a long enough slope time. All you need to do is find a small ball of wet snow, gently push it down the slope, and let gravity and time do the work for you. But look at what you're doing. You think the snowball is rolling too slowly, so you pick it up and run frantically towards the top, only to find yourself halfway there, breathless, and the snowball mostly melted. Even worse, some use a lever as a sled, trying to slide all the way down, often ending up overturned and smashed to pieces. You're obsessed with fast, quick money, quick thrills, and rapid returns. Let me tell you, speed is the most expensive luxury in the world, usually paid for by the most impatient people. You chase every hot trend, from tulips to the South Sea bubble, from dot-com stocks to these virtual things whose names I can't even remember. You think you're riding the wave, but to me, you're just a piece of plankton washed ashore, never to return to the sea. True value is never found in the noise. When everyone is going crazy for something, you'd better stay away from it, go to a quiet corner, and read the company's annual report. Yes, that's the thing you think is the most boring and tedious. I've worked with Buffett for so many years, and our work, frankly, mostly consists of reading and waiting. We read to understand the business models of this world, to find those truly robust, indestructible companies. We wait for a reasonable price, an opportunity for the market to make a mistake out of panic or folly. Our whole strategy is to buy a fantastic company at a decent price and then just sit back and do nothing. It's that simple. Incredibly simple and incredibly difficult to execute because it goes against the human urge to do something. You stare at the quotes on the screen, those green and red numbers, as if they were a real-time assessment of your intelligence. If it goes up, you're a genius. If it goes down, you're a fool. You're handing over your emotions to a completely random Mr. Market. This man suffers from bipolar disorder, sometimes ecstatically excited, sometimes so depressed he contemplates suicide. Yet you treat him like a god, obeying his every command. Is there anything more absurd? What should you be looking at? The company's balance sheet, its cash flow, whether its products have pricing power in the market, and whether its managers are honest and capable. These things won't change much in 10 or 20 years. They are the foundation of value. Price, on the other hand, is merely a mad dog bouncing around value. What you need to do is hold on to the main thread of value, not chase after that mad dog. I often see young people who, with a bit of cleverness and boldness, make some money when the market is good, and then start to think they're the next Warren Buffett. They start leveraging, trading frequently, and believing they can control the market, this beast. It's like a child who's just learned to ride a bicycle and wants to challenge the Tour de France. What's the result? They get bruised and battered and come crying to their mother. The market is a cruel teacher. It will give you a little taste of success first, making you mistakenly believe you have a special talent, and then, when you're most complacent and least prepared, it will deliver the heaviest blow. This blow often leaves you unable to get back up. The compound interest, which Einstein called the eighth wonder of the world, is indeed true, but people only see the result of compound interest, enormous wealth, and fail to see its sole requirement time. The magic of compound interest lies not in the interest, but in the compound. It requires a long time to ferment and iterate. $1 you save today might only become 1.08 cents in the first year, which you might not even notice. But 40 or 50 years later, it will become a number that will leave you speechless. This process is extremely tedious and extremely slow. It offers no excitement whatsoever. This eliminates 99% of people. People would rather buy a lottery ticket with a 1 in 10 million chance of winning, chasing that fleeting fantasy, than invest decades of patience in something with extremely high certainty. That's human nature. Investing, in a sense, is a journey of overcoming human nature. So, what should you do? It's simple. First, stop overthinking. Turn off those financial programs. Delete those apps that teach you how to trade stocks. Stop listening to those analyst predictions. If they really knew the future, they'd be on vacation already. Why would they need to be out in suits every day? They're working for their own salaries, not your wallets. Second, look for businesses that are simple, easy to understand, and have the potential to survive long term. A company that produces the beverages we drink every day. A company that provides essential insurance services. A company that monopolizes a key railway line. These businesses may not sound glamorous, but like tortoises, they slowly and steadily crawl forward, ultimately outperforming the fast-running but exhausted hares. You don't need to know everything, but you must stay firmly within the small circle where you truly understand. This is called your circle of competence. Within that circle, you are the expert. Outside, you are a lamb to the slaughter. Then, find those worthy of your money. A good entrepreneur, a good CEO, will treat your money as he would his own. He thinks about how to ensure the company remains great 50 years from now, not how to make the next quarter's financial report look better to increase the value of his stock options. You can only sleep soundly at night when you're working with someone like that. Your investment, in essence, is allocating your capital to the most capable and honest people in society, letting them create value for you with their wisdom and hard work. You're not buying a string of code. You're becoming a partner in a great company. If you don't have this mindset, you don't deserve wealth. Finally, and most importantly, Learn to wait after buying. Treat it like your family's ancestral farmland. You wouldn't sell your farmland because of bad weather or fluctuating vegetable prices, would you? What you would do is patiently wait for spring planting and autumn harvest, year after year. Droughts and floods may occur occasionally, but as long as the land is fertile, it will always yield a harvest in the long run. The same applies to investment. Markets crash, economies decline, and wars break out. These things have happened before, and they will happen again. When they do, most people panic and sell their most valuable assets. And this is precisely when you should be greedy. Use a calm mind to buy quality companies that have been unfairly punished by panic. This game isn't about who runs the fastest, but who survives the longest, who stays at the table the longest. Those who try to beat time with speed will ultimately be left far behind by time. They're like motorcyclists going the wrong way on the highway, chasing momentary thrills but blind to oncoming trucks. The wise investor, on the other hand, is like a farmer. He reveres time, respects the natural order, works at sunrise, and rests at sunset. He knows that planting a seed requires sunlight, rain, and a long wait to grow into a towering tree and bear sweet fruit. Any attempt to force its growth with fertilizers or hormones will only result in a fruit that looks good on the outside, but is bitter on the inside.